Welcome to Ace Designs 107. I'm the Ace in the car pack. You're the kings and queens. Today what I've for you guys is a Photoshop tutorial showing you how you can make your own retro 8-bit game style banner. And the difficulty for this tutorial will be 4 out of 5 stars. The only reason why I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars is because I'm not going to be calling out shortcuts that I'm using like Ctrl+T to resize or pressing Ctrl D to deselect or basic things like that. You will need to have a basic knowledge in cinema in Photoshop, and if you've watched some of my previous tutorials, hopefully you already have that. And the duration will be, I think I put 50 minutes. The only reason why is because of you'll need to watch another tutorial to be able to do this one, and I'll put a link on the screen when I call it out in the tutorial. Let's get straight into it. Welcome to the desktop. This is where the magic happens. We're going to get straight into this tutorial, and I'll be showing you some things before we actually do some of the steps. So previously I've just uploaded a Cinema 4D tutorial showing you how you can make your own 8-bit styled render. And that tutorial will be carried on into this tutorial, and I'll be showing you how to use your renders that you have made into a really nice retro banner. So if you haven't played a lot of 8-bit games, or you're just a bit younger and out of that era, I think it was a really great era and it's a really nice style to make a lot of banners around it. So let's get straight into this one. I'm just going to make sure that I'm recording quickly. Okay, sweet. So here in Cinema 4D, you can see that I have my setup going, and I've covered all the techniques on how to make your own render in my most previous video. So a link will be on screen right now for you to go click off to there if you're brand new to the channel, and you can watch how to make your own styled render like this. And then once you've finally done that, you can go and come back here. Just one quick note, I'm using a retro font here. It's called 8-Bit Wonder. I'll leave a link in the description below for you to go download that one. It's a great 8-bit styled font, and I think that it will suit this effect very well. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Photoshop, and I'll be using my YouTube template layout template. If you want one, go down to the description below. Again, there'll be a download link, and we're going to be using this as like kind of a guideline. Now you might see that these little 3D models. I knew how to make this. You really just make a work path, you export it in Photoshop, and then you make a material using the texture, and then you apply that material as a cubic to that work path extruded in Cinema 4D. However, I think that would require too many steps for one video, so I'm just going to cut out that and make my own style for this banner. So once you go down to the description below, you can find a assets folder including all of the pictures such as this one, and this one. I've included the render, so just in case if you didn't make it yourself, or if you didn't have one yourself, you'll be able to find that one there. And I'm just going to close that one really quickly and reopen this one. Okay, thank you. And we're going to get straight into this one finally. So with our render, we're just going to click and drag it onto our document first of all. And I always love to work with the render first of all, and then do the backings and everything. So with my bottom layer, I'm just going to change it to a white so I can see what my render is actually looking like. And then I might just press Ctrl T on my render, hold Shift while I resize it down and up. And we're going to be doing a YouTube banner, but in this case they did a Twitter. And I might just change the color to a gray so I can just see what I'm working with. So with my render, I'm going to press Ctrl J. I'm going to go to Filter, Filter Gallery, and I'm going to go to Stylize Glowing Edges. And then I'm going to have an edge width of around 3, edge brightness of around 7, and smoothness, let's do a 2. Press OK, then go to your blending options on this layer and go to overlay, and go to your opacity and slightly change this one down to like 43 or 50%. Then press Ctrl E and you can merge those two together. Press Ctrl J once again on that render, then go to Filter Gallery, and we are going to find Patchwork. You can also do all these other ones and just change the blending options, but I will be doing Patchwork for this one. Square size, I'm going to do 4, and the relief I will be doing is 2. And I'm going to change the blending options once again to overlay, and also go down to the opacity and change this one slightly down to there. So now we have something with our render, and we can continue working with this one by pressing Ctrl J, go to Filter, Pixelate, and here in your Pixelate you'll have plenty of different options, but we're going to be using Mosaic in our case today. And for the cell size, I'm going to do 11 or 10, 9, whatever you would like. And then I'm going to go to Filter, Stylize, Find Edges, and I'm going to press Ctrl I on that one, and then go to Overlay, back again, and with the opacity, just slightly change this one down to something like that. Now, if this doesn't suit you, that is fine, but we're going to be doing that. And actually, I might just have that there, and I'll re-bring my render back in, and I might just see the difference between it and if I like it or not. Because, yeah, like, the effects look a bit good, but sometimes they can overdo it a little bit, and that's what I tend to find. So that is that, and I'm just going to group these for now. I might just go back to my render and then instead of doing those, but those are some techniques that you can use. And then with my render, I'm going to press Ctrl J and then go to Filter, Pixelate, Mosaic, press OK, and then Filter, Stylize, Find Edges, press Ctrl I, go to here, Overlay, and then I'll just be doing that one for today. So I'll kind of get that like pixelation effect, if you know what I mean. And you can also go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur on this layer, and that will just apply like a really slight little blur. Press OK, and then bam, we're done with our render. So the next thing to do is start editing the background, but before we can do that, I'm going to go to my bottom layer. I'm going to grab up the gradient tool, and I'm going to do like a slight little gradient. So with the color, I will be doing it a bluish, so something like from this one, and we can edit the values later on. Something like that, and I'm going to make sure this is on linear and just drag up. Okay, something like this is actually working really nice for us, and I'm just going to make sure that I have it the right way. And then bam, we have something like this for our bottom layer. I'm going to make a new layer on below all these, and I'm going to fill this one in with a black or a really dark gray. And I'm going to change the opacity on this bottom one, just very slightly, something like that. And then we are ready to start adding in all the pictures. I'm going to merge these ones together in this case, and I'm going to name this BG, standing for background. And I'm also going to bring my top and preview one all above this. I'll group these ones, and this is going to be top. And I'll also press this little thing here. And for my renders, I'll press Ctrl E on them. Actually, I'll just group these together and render. Okay, so the next thing that I will be doing is dragging in the stocks and start coloring it. But first of all, you can see that there's these little particles that you can see they're colored. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anything besides this, so this is going to be our closest thing to it. And yeah, so we're going to be using the particles out of here. First of all, I'm just going to grab up the image size. So this is 400, so particle size, let's do 200 by 200, that's okay. And I'll just bring this picture onto here for now. But because of this one is a GIF, we need to change this from index to RGB. So go to image mode, RGB color, and now you can drag this layer onto that. Okay, so just try to get as many particles as you can in one hit. Okay, that is that. And I'm also going to select all these little ones here, right click and do fill, content aware, and I'm going to do the same. That's how you get rid of watermarks. If you didn't know, right, just right click, fill, content aware. And I'm pressing Ctrl D to deselect that selection that you're seeing. Yeah, and see, we can get some more particles happening, which I think is great. Now if we just try to fill content aware this, no, it's not going to work. Okay, so the next thing is, I'm just going to take that away quickly. Okay, sweet. So the next thing that we're going to do is just check that this works. So we're going to chuck this into screen mode. Yes, it does. Great. And we're going to simply move this particle bit onto here. Oh, whoa. But before we do that, press C for your crop tool, crop that, and then now you can move it. V for your move tool. Okay, now we have our particles, and we're just going to mess with the blending options to make sure that we can do screen. Okay, so looks like the screen won't work because of it is slightly gray, but you know what will work? If we right click, and now if we go to screen. Okay, so what I did there was really easy. So basically what I had to do was change the background color. The reason for that, it was because of it's like a grayish like this, and screen only takes away just all the blacks, which won't work. So what I had to do is go down to here and then go to linear dodge, and then I would press Ctrl J. I would change this one to normal, and then that'll make it straight black. And then I'll press shift click, control click both of these, press Ctrl E to merge them, and now if I press screen, I just have the particles. That was a really easy way of doing it, and yeah. So now we're just going to press Ctrl J and duplicate these particles all around the place, something like here, and make sure they're going behind your render, and we can just click there. And if you don't know how I'm resizing them, I'm just pressing Ctrl T so I can move them. That's it, guys. I'll be using that. I can't call out, hey, Ctrl T throughout the whole tutorial. That'll just be ridiculous. I'm also duplicating them by pressing Ctrl J, then Ctrl T, etc. etc, etc, etc. So something like that should be good. And now we have some particles onto our screen. Okay, and the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to merge all these together. I don't need them separate layers, and then chuck that back on screen, press Ctrl J, press Ctrl E. Okay, so it's screen now, and I'm going to name these color particles. The next thing that I'm going to do is press Ctrl J for this one, and I'm going to resize these ones down to like really small. And I'm going to press Ctrl U, and for the saturation, just do 0. So then, and then press Ctrl J, and then duplicate these little white ones all over the place. Something like that. And then with all these white ones, press Ctrl E to merge them together. Go to screen overlay, your blending options screen, and then just go to the opacity and change them a little bit down to like 32 so we can see the white ones stand out. And you can resize these ones to a larger size if that needs to be. And then bam, we have something like this, and that wasn't too hard to make for the particles in regards to the particles. And we're going to be doing all these little space invader little things later on. But the second thing that we're going to do is do this little cutoff that you can see that's happening along here. So to do that, I'm going to make a new layer, but before I do, I'm going to control click both of my particles, press Ctrl G, and name these particles color /white particles. just so I know that what are my groups inside them. Then I'm going to make a new layer by pressing Ctrl-Shift-N. And on this layer, what I'm going to be doing is grab up my rectangular marquee tool and hold Shift and make like a circle. But I'm going to need to zoom out for this one and make a giant circle. Something like that. And then I'm going to fill the circle in with a black or whatever. And actually, yeah, I'm going to make sure that it's black. Okay, sweet. And then just press Ctrl A and press second and fifth icon on that. So it's going to center the circle. And we should just drag this one up until the curves like here look like it's in the middle. So now we have something like this. Now make sure just that it is in the middle by pressing this icon. And because we couldn't fit the whole circle onto the thing, we can press Ctrl D always. You'll get like that. Okay, so that's great. You can also shift click just to get an idea of where the selection is. Okay, great. So the next thing is to press Control on the layer thumbnail, press Ctrl-Shift-I, make a new layer, and fill this one layer in with black. And then you can delete this circle here, and we've got these silhouettes. Now the next thing that we're going to do is go to the blending options, and then go to inner glow, right click on the layer blending options, and then go to the inner glow and do like a bluish color, something like this. And we're going to bump up the size and also just mess around with the choke a little bit, something like this. And then great, we should have something like this looking on now. And we're going to get rid of this little thing here. But before we do that, we're going to apply a gradient overlay on this one also. So we're just going to pick a color like this one, black to white, and just edit the gradient really slightly. So it's going to be from a black to a gray. Okay, great. And yeah, so this one is for some reason see-through. No, we're going to have to move our particles below it, so you know it's working like what we want to. I'm also going to press Ctrl U on this one and just make sure that my gradient is dark enough, because currently it's not. And also my inner glow needs to be a bit more softer. Okay, something like this. And I'm also going to change the color, hopefully, to something more appropriate. Okay, great. So the next thing is to get rid of this, because I don't want this to be showing. So I'm going to make a new layer above everything, or just above that layer. And then I'm going to press M for my rectangular marquee tool, change it to there because I was using the ellipse tool. And then just fill this selection in with the and then just fill this selection in with a black, and press Ctrl J and do the exact same like that. Press Ctrl E to merge these two layers together. Just let me close the door. And I'm going to go to this layer, right click, do copy layer style, and paste this layer style onto here. And I'm just going to go to the inner glow and take that one off. So now we can just see that it's something like this. And this isn't totally lined up, so I'm just going to move this one onto that like that. And yeah, so something like this. And I'll also get my eraser tool and just erase the little edges, just because there might be a slight little difference. But it won't be seeable just because it's such a dark gray. It just looks like a little gray. Okay, so we can merge those two together, right click and do rasterlize layer style because I'm happy with that one. And yeah, so now we can go to the blending options and also drop on a drop shadow if you'd like. And for the size, I'll do something like this. Press OK. And then we are going to grab up some of our screenshots that I have saved. Again, these will be in the description below for you to use. I'm going to just group this one together, and this is going to be cut off. And I'm also going to make sure that I'm dragging this one on, because it's not. So if this one's not dragging on, it's most likely indexed. So we need to go to image mode, RGB. Okay, sweet. And just resize this one. Something like that. I'm going to also go to the blending options and go to screen, and also I'm going to cut the high scores out and move them somewhere else, just for a peel effect. So I'm going to press Control Cut and move this one out by pressing Control V back. My high score, something like this one. And I'm just going to delete some of these because I don't really need these. I just want high score. And with this one, I can press Control T and just to move it and take away this bottom, or I can cut this one out, press Control V. Now for cut, you just press Control X, go to screen, and then we've got some little, I guess, little things here going on. And with this one, I'm also going to go down to the fill and just change this one, something like that. So we get some little space faders, I guess. And I might just take away some of these on the edge with my eraser tool. And I can go around and just take some of these around, just because of it looks a bit more cool when it's a little bit abstract and not so aligned and all perfect. Okay, great. And I might just take this one, cut that, press Control V for this one, press Move Tool and move it back here. And I'll also take this one off screen. Control T, sizes. Okay, sweet. Okay, yeah. And the next thing that I'm going to do is just grab up some more screenshots, and I'll be using those. So I think I have this one. Where's my other one? So I'll just use this one, drag this one onto here, just Control J. So again, we need to go to this one and go to linear dodge, press Control J again. Yeah, we need the black to be gone. And it's not really going. Okay, so I'm just going to go to Google and grab up the different ones. So if you go to your Google and do 8-bit game, space game, you should be able to find, you know, some aircrafts or something like this. I'll just quickly go to my search. How long have we been recording? 20 minutes, perfect. Fuck you, Google. Why aren't you working with me? Okay, this one can work. What else? What else? That's kind of weird. But I guess cool. That'll be fun to play. Okay, so this one, we're going to save this one quickly into our documents or wherever my folder is. In my case, it's in this huge jumble of mess. Okay, so now we're going to go to File, Open, and open up that one, which it is here. And we've got all these little particles, which is okay because when we resize it, you won't be able to really see it. Just go to normal and screen and just delete some of it. I'm using the rectangular marquee tool to just make these little selections, and I'm also pressing delete while making sure that my layer is selected, that I want to be deleting stuff off. Okay, bam. That's good enough. And with this render, I can just simply go down here and change down the opacity to something like this. I can also press Ctrl J, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I just press Ctrl J to just have as a backup this one. Okay, so that one was a bit too strong. You know what, I'll keep this one so I can see what I'm actually working with here. Not box blur. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, so we have something like this now. Obviously the renders look different and everything like that, but with this render you can also press Ctrl J. This is a little technique that a lot of guys do in the community. Change this one to like any mode other than normal, so like hard light, and then go down to the opacity and change that one out so you can kind of get that like little overlay. And you can also press Ctrl J on the render again, drag this one below, press Ctrl T, resize this one up, and then go to filter, make sure that this is all one layer, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just blur this one out, something like that. And you can do like overlay or something like this. I'll be doing soft light, and you can see that it actually makes like a little glow. Okay, great. And then I can also group this one and do render bot, render mid, and render top, just like LOL and Dota in their safe lanes. And the final thing that I might do is apply some magic bullets, because of, you know, I feel like it. So I can delete all these, I can also group all these, and just do these 8-bit games. Oh, one thing to do is to add on some text. So grab up your text tool. We're going to find our text that is 8-bit wonder, and I'm just going to be typing in with white for now, and this one's going to be by Ace Design 107. Now this one's a bit too thick, but I do have other 8-bit wonder shit. I don't want this one. Just go to darfont.com. Easy way to find font. Okay, something like this. We need something really skinny, and I also might go 8-bit wonders, because I'll need that link anyway when I'm uploading the video. YouTuber struggles, boys. And this one I might just install it. That's how you install font, really easy. Use WinRAR. Okay, so now just go to this one. Now I forgot the name of the font, but it's all good. 8-bit 16. 8-bit 16. Okay, and then we have that by Ace Design 107. Or you can also like change it to whatever your YouTube channel name is, or client's name. Yes, I don't mind if you make money off my tutorials. It's your own dignity and pride that's going down. I really don't like the aspect ratio of this. It just looks off. Okay, there we go. And it just moves something like this one down to here or something where it, you know, where it would suit. And it changed this size of it, maybe down here or something. And yeah, you can have your font there. Really small. Okay, so the next thing is, I'm just going to delete it, but that's how you do it. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to press save, because I want to save this one. And I'm also going to save this one as magic bullets, because when you apply magic bullets, everything needs to be one layer. So you literally press Control or Shift click all these, press Control E, you have that as one layer, and then you can go to filter, blur, magic bullets. I'm just going to cut that all out, and I'm also going to actually, before I do this, I just take off the preview, because if I won't need this one. And I'll also fill this one in with a black. Okay, and I'll just shift click. Okay, so now I'm ready to go to filter, magic bullets, magic bullet looks. Oh, also press Control J before you do that, because like you won't have a backup layer. And it's just going to take us time while it's doing that. Okay. You can also do Topaz Labs, but I won't be going into that in today's tutorial. Now this is a previous one that I was using, but you have plenty of different ones like here. Just use like a preset, like I won't be showing you how you can make your own, and then just build off the preset. That's a little way that I like to do. So there's like horror ones, there's diffusion ones, there's like some really nice presets. I know that you can load in your own, and I've tried to load in my own from like another person's pack where they just have like a magic bullets pack that you can use, but it wasn't working, and I was like, damn, why not? So one that I like is something like this one. This one's a little bit better because it brings out the whites. There's this one. No, I don't like that one. No, I don't like that one. I'll just do this one. Okay, so now you can also go to your camera and start adding in little things like this. So add in film grain. This is the 80s, remember, so they did have film grain on everything that they had. And just this one, swing tilt. Okay, blur size. Something like that. Soft edges. Yeah, soft edges works really well. Okay, great. And I might also add in a chromatic abbreviation. Yep. Actually, no, I should have kept that vignette. You can also add in, again, it's just all trial and error. Really kind of have the vignette, so we don't really need that deflare. No. This one. Okay, and I'm just going to with your chromatic abbreviation, you can't have it too strong, otherwise it'll just look shit. Okay, so now we're just going to press OK on this one. You'll see it is applying to the thing, and you know it'll give you a little previous one. Okay, sweet. Then didn't take too long. And you can also go down to the opacity, and it changes one up. So here it is. I guess the blur is a little bit too strong for my liking, so I would prefer that one. But hey, you can have this like neon, and that's really 80s speaking for you. So everybody, thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. Let's see if we can get hit 45 likes for this awesome tutorial. And also comment below telling me what you thought of the video so I can personally thank you below. And have a great day, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.